Hey guys, we are talking about the new Elden Ring and what everyone wants from it. Basically, what are the things that all the gamers, all the people who are FromSoft fans, Dark Souls fans, Bloodborne fans, what do they want? If you guys want to know, watch the video, subscribe, leave a like. I am happy you're here with me. We're going to get right into it. So, number one, what's the number one thing everybody wants? Number one, mounted combat that has some depth. So, in this game, there is mounted combat because it's a large game, it's open world. Yes, there's dungeons that are kind of like, you know, how Dark Souls usually is, a little more linear, but it is open world, so you need to be able to traverse relatively quickly. And so now there's mounts. What I and most people are worried about is mounted combat either being broken, which they wouldn't do that in this game, but more like boring. We don't want boring mounted combat. There needs to be some level of complexity to it. So as you've seen, the horse can actually double jump. I'll put some footage up. It can actually double jump, which is actually really cool, and it will be necessary for certain boss fights, which I think that's a very interesting way of including the mount. As you can see, it's riding along right here. It looks like a little donkey. Basically, we want to be able to parry, we want to be able to block. Certain enemies are better mounted, not just other mounted enemies, but like actual certain enemies are easier to fight mounted, and others will just kill you mounted. So I have confidence that they'll try something, but as you can tell from previous games like Sekiro, not all of their ideas like parrying can pan out to being perfect. So maybe it won't turn out perfectly, but I think they will add a spice here. Number two is easy to use co-op. In the previous games, I don't understand why it was so hard. They really had you go to certain spots, find a written down name, and then you can summon people. It makes sense because it's kind of like almost like lore heavy. It makes sense in that regard. And it makes sense also for like PvP fighting and stuff, because obviously you don't want someone, you know, constantly invading you. It happens, but not all the time. But when you just want to play the game with your friends, right? That's all you want. But instead, you have to wait, buy a boss store, invite them in, you go in, if you die, you have to restart the whole process. If not, you kill the boss and then they go away. What? Like, that's completely ridiculous. As a game design, you know, like completely ridiculous. But it's seeming like, I think I heard some reports that basically it's going to be simpler to use. I don't know how much more simple, but simpler. I don't personally think they're gonna make it as easy as we'd want, which is just, you know, join my game and let's play the whole thing through together. I think it's gonna be something where it's like, it's easier to do, but it's just for bosses, or it's easier to do, but you still have to be at this exact place, you know. I don't think they're gonna advance all the way, but just some sort of ease of use for us, please. And then number three, a huge thing. I can, you know, this game's probably gonna be good. If not, that sucks. But we all want DLC. We need DLC, and the reason why I even say this is because Bloodborne had DLC, or yeah, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. The Sekiro doesn't get any DLC. All it gets is some boss rage stuff where you get to like fight all the bosses, you know, in a row. Like you fight one boss, beat it, and you go to the next one. That's cool and all, but we want actual DLC. That was my biggest complaint with Sekiro, is there wasn't enough bosses in the game, so I waited for DLC. There was no DLC, so we need some DLC. I'm sure if it's successful, you know, we will get some, but you know, I just have to put it in there because their DLC is always some of their best content. We wouldn't get Orphan of Kos, we wouldn't get Ludwig, we wouldn't get like so many Slave Knight Gale, so many amazing bosses and just areas that like make the games feel like a complete package, make them feel like above and beyond, you know. Number four is more complex combat. So what I mean by this is kind of a lot to say, but some people would say the combat is fine, but I feel like it can kind of be distilled to just, you know, you hit and you roll, or you know, you use broken magic, or you don't use magic because the magic sucks. We need, first thing, the magic to be balanced, because it's either broken magic or no magic. And that's not right. You know, it should be something more than that. Gear sets, I feel like, for me personally, when I went through the games, I know a lot of people don't do this, but for me, I didn't pick up a lot of different weapons. I usually start with the main weapon they gave you, and then after that, I might pick up 1 or 2 other weapons, and that's it. For the whole game, I just use those weapons, upgrade them because the upgrades materials are rare, and I'm just using 1 weapon the whole game. And so I think armor sets should have like whole armor set boosts. So instead of mismatched gear, you have 1 whole armor set, right? That makes you look cool and they can give you a little boost. And maybe the boost isn't that good, so you can mismatch. Maybe make it like small boosts, but it would be something to incentivize the player to have armor set boosts. Give the weapons maybe branching trees, so that instead of just a very linear, this is how it's upgraded, maybe there's like 3 or 2 different ways that, you know, can actually alter the playstyle or the effects of the weapon. It'd be cool if they had gems like Bloodborne, but better. The gem farming was like, we don't want to do that again, but that would be great. It'd be awesome if they did that. And final part of making the combat more complex is, we all know what we want. We all know what we want. Make Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Dark Souls. Grab all the best parts of all those things and combine them, right? The parrying of Sekiro, the movement of Bloodborne, and some of the gun parrying of that. And then Dark Souls, honestly, just a solid base, right? It has good fundamentals that gives it a nice consistency, and you can come back and play, right? So you just take the best of all those games, put them together, and of course add in some new stuff, you know, like the mount fighting and stuff. It'd be so great. I would love that. And number five is just what I personally want. I went through the internet to see what people were worried about, and that's what the first 4 were. This one is about what I want. If you got this far, I assume that you kind of care about my opinion, which is I need the game to have a good amount of bosses. As we all know, once you beat the game the first time, after that, what you come back for, what you replay for, is the bosses and the atmosphere. Those are the two things, right? It'd be cool if they changed the game and like now you love going and fighting every single enemy, but eventually you just run past those enemies and then you fight the bosses, right? So we need a good amount of bosses, not like Sekiro. Please don't be like Sekiro. Every other Souls game had a great amount of bosses. Please have them be like that. I would love to see mini bosses. Vati Video was talking about when he got a little preview on Elden Ring, there was actually a small like mini boss dragon. We need a lot of those because I just think that'd be such a unique thing for this game series, when usually the bosses, you know, they're big spectacles. And that goes right into the DLC. Please give me DLC. I already know that if this game's good, I'm just gonna want more. I'm just gonna want more. I'm gonna wait a while for another game. So that's what I want. That's basically what I want. More bosses, and I just want content. I love these games. We all love these games. Come on. If you're watching this video, you love these games. But basically, those are the 5 things that Elden Ring people, Dark Souls lovers, Bloodborne lovers, Sekiro lovers, whatever. These are the things that we all are hoping is going to be good, and most likely will, because FromSoft, they deliver. We all know this. They deliver. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below what you guys think. Did I get anything wrong? Do you not agree with something? Is there something that you're worried about? I would love to hear that. Maybe even make another video about those topics. And go follow me at Twitch, Lucas Unlocked, Billy at AdeptusTTV, and Meldar, her name's Meldar the Barbarian, on Twitch.